There's a version of you that doesn't exist anymore. Not because something terrible happened to her or any dramatic event or a decision that you can point at as saying, that's when I lost her. That's when I quit being me. Instead, she just quietly faded away into the background under the burden of responsibilities, obligations, practicality, and becoming who others needed you to be. And most days you don't even think about her. And it's sad. But every now and again, in the strangest moments, you will get a glimpse of her. It can be a song on the radio. It could be a place you visited. It could be the laughter of another person. And then all of a sudden you'll feel her. That earlier version of you, the one who wanted things before you told her to stop wanting them. And that's what this video is about. It's about that person, the one who had dreams when you left her behind. My name is Debbie, and welcome to my channel, The Life I Didn't Plan. I am one of the oldest members of Generation X. Some people call us Boomer Light. And I have been in healthcare for 3 decades. And honestly, I do not know who that person is. So do you remember who you were before the world voiced its many opinions about you, told you who you needed to be? Before the student loans, before the mortgage, before the career ladder, before the slow and steady stacking of obligations that eventually ended up being your whole personality, there was someone before all that. Someone with a specific kind of energy, a specific way of seeing things, ideas that she was genuinely excited about. Not because that those ideas were practical or could be monetized, and not because they would look good on a resume, but because they mattered to her. Maybe she wanted to make something. Maybe she wanted to write. Maybe she wanted to build something that had nothing to do with a higher degree or improving someone's bottom line. Maybe she had a way of connecting with people that just ended up getting quieter over the years. It got buried under professionalism and under guardedness and under the 1,000 small disappointments that teach you not to be too open, not to be too hopeful, and not to be too much. Maybe she had a lightheartedness. Maybe she was jolly. Maybe she had the sense that her future was wide open, and who she would become was entirely still up for grabs. And I do think about her sometimes now. And I tried to think about the exact moment that I started leaving her behind. Maybe, maybe just to pinpoint exactly when she ceased to exist. But the problem is I didn't leave her behind all at once. No, it came in increments. A compromise here, just be realistic, Debbie, there, and a dream that ended up quietly filed under, I'll do it someday. But only that someday never came. And all of this happened without you making the choice out loud that she wasn't going to exist anymore. And here's what I've come to understand about those dreams that we give up on. Most of them don't end with a goodbye. There's no place, an exact moment that you could sit down and say, I'm choosing right now. I'm just going to let this go. I'm just not going to pursue it. No, I'm just not going to do it. There's no ceremony. There's no acknowledgement. And there's no point in time when you end up grieving because you're walking away from it. You're walking away from you or who you were, who the real you is. Instead, it just gets quieter. The thing that you used to talk about with so much electricity in your voice, it becomes something that you mention less, and then not at all. And then someone who remembers those things about you, they ask. And then you just go, it was just a phase I was going through. And that hurts. That really hurts. Because in all honesty, it wasn't a phase. That was you. A real part of you. And somewhere between then and now, it got reclassified as naive and practical. A young person's fantasy that an adult with real responsibilities has no business still carrying around. And the cruelest part is you are the one who did it. Oh, yeah, sure, there were voices. There were your parents, your partners, a culturally obsessed with productivity and proving your worth. You got to have this. You didn't travel to Boho, Baja, whatever. Where's your house? Where's your car? Well, don't you know that if they don't go to this school, they're never going to get in to college? There were circumstances, real ones, that made practicality the only real choice for a while. But at some point, the circumstances did change, and the voices went quiet, and the dream, it was still there. But you were the one who kept it filed away under someday. You were the one who decided, without ever purposely and thoughtfully deciding it, that you were no longer the kind of person who would want that. And we got good at the stories. Oh, did we ever get good at the stories? Like we're too old for that. Even at 21, at 45, at 60. Yeah. At whatever age the dream started feeling embarrassing instead of exciting. That's not realistic. as if the life we build instead, the one that has, ended up hollowing us out slowly, was the picture of wisdom and practicality. But we bought it, and we've bought it for years. I have responsibilities now, true, but when did responsibility come with completely erasing who you are? Oh, someone can do it better anyway. That's my favorite one. I do that one a lot. But you know what? You are the one that made it so that this quiet dream of yours, you're the one who convinced yourself that it never was really yours to claim. And that somewhere along the way you missed your window, you lost your edge, or you simply weren't that type of person that those things happened to. That all those beliefs, they're nothing but lies. And I want to be clear about that. It's not a comforting lie, not a gentle untruth. You just got convinced that you were not meant for those things. And you were convinced by real, damaging, life-shortening lies that were fed to us over and over from a culture that promotes profits from people putting down their dreams. And you perpetuated the lie. You kept it alive. I know I have. And that's why I'm making this video. It's because I finally realized I have been the problem the whole time. And realizing that, I have been experiencing grief. I've mourned that I lost who I was. I mourn the fact that I'm in the latter half, the last quarter, so to speak, of my life. And I didn't live the life I wanted. I didn't pursue the potential that I had because it was real. It was real. It was really real. But I felt like that somewhere along the way, the conditions weren't right. Things didn't align for me to pursue those things, to allow me to be who I was. But you know what? I know that she's still there. She definitely is quieter now than she was. And she still holds on to that dream that she's always had from 40 years ago. And she's still waiting. And I've been sitting with that lately. The idea that it's not too late to go back and collect on that. That the dreams don't expire. That I had just gotten busy. The self that I left behind has been remarkably stubborn and loyal, even when I wasn't. But maybe that's true for you too. And I'm not going to end this video with a 5-step plan. I don't think that's what this moment needs, and I don't think that's what you came here for. What I will say is this. The fact that you feel this ache, this recognition, this quiet grief for the person you were going to be, it's not a symptom that something's wrong with you. It's a symptom of something is right. It means you haven't fully given up. It means that some part of you is still paying attention to her and still keeping that door cracked open for a reason. You can't keep leaving her out in the cold. And I think that this is something genuinely worth pursuing and not set up as a dramatic reinvention, not as permission to blow your life up by Wednesday, but just as acknowledgement, a moment of honesty between you and yourself. You know, I had dreams, I let some of them go. I'm allowed to grieve that loss and sit with that discomfort of knowing I did. It was me. And then what I'm going to do about it. And it's okay to not have that answer yet. It may take a while. Anyway, that's enough for today. The rest, what you do with it, where you go from here, whether the version of you waiting in the wings ever gets their moment, that's a longer conversation. And I'll be here for it. And if this resonated with you, if you found yourself nodding at any point in this video, or if something came up for you that you hadn't thought about in a long time, I'd love to hear about it in the comments. Not because I have answers, because I think there's something powerful about saying out loud that I had a dream I let go of, but I'm still thinking about it. That's not weakness, that's honesty. And this channel runs on honesty. Subscribe if you want to keep having these conversations, and if you know someone who needed to hear this story, please share with them. Sometimes the most generous thing you can do for someone you love is to hand them the words that they need to hear. I'll see you in the next one.